Hello everyone, welcome to Slowless Network, and today we're going to talk about Major Crimes, Season 4, Episode 7. Now this one started off a little strange. I guess, it's happened before, but the murder had already happened. Oh wait, was it the murder? Yeah, the murder had already happened. I was like, wait, and then I remembered, the murder had already happened, but it was cops, and there was so many cops there, my gosh. And they took extra precaution, whatever. But then we kind of had like a flashback, and then it was like the cops that got shot, they had someone in the back, and they're driving, and they see a cop car pulled over, and the cops had this car pulled over. And I've actually heard that sometimes if cops see the other cops, they'll just, oh, we'll go help. Well, then, okay, that's cool. And they get there, and then they get shot up. But the person that shot him didn't know there was someone in the back seat. He hid, and then he escaped later. But he took one of the cops' guns, whatever. Stupid. And of course, when a cop dies, the whole city, the whole police force is like, we gotta find him. So they all looking for this kid, the kid that they arrested, but he wasn't a killer. And then they kind of try to link him to a gang. And they were like, oh, this is a big gang thing, and maybe this was a trap to kill cops. It was just like, geez. Y'all really think it was this big old giant conspiracy? I feel like if you're going to do a big old trap like that, they're not going to take credit for it. What would be the point? And so now the people that did the killing are pretending to be cops. So and they're searching for the kid that was in the back of the car, because the actual police put his picture all over the place. Literally, hey, we have a witness. We have a witness. So it just showed, like, when cops die sometimes, how a larger police force can, even as organized as a police force is, can still screw up under emotion and grief, And it was just like, all right, they should have started canvassing before putting his picture all over the place. Maybe at the end of the day, if you couldn't find him after a while, fine. But to put his picture all over before you even knew the whole story. But they eventually got the kid. Turns out he wasn't the killer, because they thought he was the killer. And I'm like, you kind of ruined, like, if he's going into witness protection, but at the same time, it's just like, what about if he did it? And he's an immigrant, so he might get deported and all that. But it was just like, well, what about if he didn't? What about if he had to actually go back and live his life? And just plastered his face all over the city as a cop killer. And just like, because if regular citizens get emotional after a death or something, what the police will probably first thing they say, don't take the law into your own hands. But it's like, when the law is in your hands, don't misuse it. So they got the kid, and then they got the kid, and then they set up this sting operation, or it was a sting operation basically, and they set it up so they could catch the guy, because the killers actually went around giving flyer with his face on it, talking about his $10,000 reward. So they had the girlfriend call and be like, hey, I need that she wanted to get the money, and they set up a place, so he'll be here. He went in there, and the team was in there, and they got them both. Now, what's odd about this episode? And I don't know if it was just a different director or something. The suspense wasn't there. And it's fine, but it was still a good episode, and I still liked the way it was done, because it wasn't done like typically if the cops would have died like that. it would have been a manhunt. But we were. It was a hunt, but we were never on the. Weren't on the streets as much. You know, it was a lot of the helpline and Rusty. We'll talk about him next. But it wasn't so much like, oh, we're kicking down doors. Oh, we're knocking. You know, oh, we're getting more unis on the street or something, you know. So it was a different perspective, and I liked it. Now, Rusty and TJ would make a cute couple, right? I'm just waiting for that moment for it to happen. Provenza tried it, though. Talking about, oh, I'm going to have you guys over for dinner. They're not a couple yet, though. Jeez. Now, Rusty got a phone call from the person that left a message on Alice's phone, and he wants to go meet up with him. But I guess TJ was like, "Hey, you got to find find out more about this guy because he could be anybody." And so Rusty decides, "Oh well, let's do a police background check, whatever." So he's in the office, and they're doing background checks live as they get information from the tip line. And he sneaks away to get the information. But I didn't understand why Rusty felt like, because Provenza came in, and he's like, "Oh, thank you so much for helping," because he pretended like he was helping, but he was actually trying to get the background check. And he's like, "Oh, thank you so much for helping." And then he was like, "Oh, I feel horrible because I didn't really help. I should have been helping." And he's just like, everyone has their duty. And it's not like it's not like you were doing something horrible on the side, or, you know, it's not like you was trying to find somebody to kill him or something. You're still trying to do your case and figure out Alice. You don't have the tools that maybe someone with a huge organization would have behind them, but you're doing what you gotta do. So I don't understand why he was so upset. But TJ was right. That could be anybody. Like, even it could be anybody. So, and TJ was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go with you." I'm like, "Yeah, you better go with him." All right, that was about it. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Slow this down.